fear is subjective, and the physiological results of fear in our system are identical to every human being. When I got out, I started working with my buddy Simon. I was with the Barry Waywinder Institute, Leadership Institute. So I was quite literally put in front of people, either speaking or teaching. I was not comfortable doing it, but I knew in choosing to do that I was actually stepping into something that I was uncomfortable. It was a very deliberate decision for me. Was I said, I'm interested in writing, so I should probably get used to being in front of people. And so I began to do it and kind of step into it every time. And I started to, inoculate myself, understand, okay, how does this feel? What does it mean? Can I get better at this? As I was getting more comfortable, I was not at the beginning stage, probably in the mid stage, and I was getting ready to give a talk. And it was a big crowd. I think it was a couple thousand people, pretty big for, the biggest I had spoken to. And the organizer, prior to me going on, asked me, pulled me, when we were talking, he said, "Hey, are you nervous at all?" And I said to him, well, can I ask you a question? He said, "Sure." I said, "Is anybody going to be shooting at me when I'm on the stage?" And he looked at me, he's like, "No, of course." I was like, "Well, I got nothing to be nervous about, right?" It was really meant to be a joke, but what I recognized is I was really just reframing, and what I was saying to myself was like, listen, I'm not going to die up there, right? No one's shooting at me. I can look at this, I can frame it in a way. But what we have to recognize, and I want to make sure people understand this because I get this a lot. Well, you're a Navy SEAL. I mean, how can I, your levels of courage and, fear inoculation are just, how can I even relate? Will and I can be in a gunfight, and we can literally be feeling less fear than the kid you just asked to stand in front of his or her class and give a presentation, right? That kid could be experiencing 10 times more fear physiologically than Will and I in a gunfight. So we have to understand that fear is going to be subjective, but when it starts to show up in our system, physiologically, there are reactions in our system. And it's really about understanding what those reactions are and starting to map ways to deal with those to start stepping into it more effectively.